When you stepped in after they had intentionally walked Pete Crow Armstrong in the ninth to get to you?
Oh, my God. I was like, this is my moment to shine. Even after the first pitch, someone behind me yelled at me, "You stink." I was like, oh, my God, I'm not going to stink right here.
And he did not stink. 7 RBIs for Christian Bethancourt as the Cubs come back from a 10-3 deficit. In fact, if we're going to talk about stink, I think Livvy Dunne knows who exactly stunk in this game. It wasn't Paul Skeens, her boyfriend. It was the Pirates bullpen. I mean, it's one of the worst in the league, but yeah, I'm kind of with you here, Livvy. You got to be kidding me. Baseball's fair. That's all I can say, guys, because there was a game earlier this year. The Cubs blew an 8-0 lead to the Padres. Sorry to take you back to these memories, but man, no business losing that game and no business winning this game. That's a 50-50 swap right there. We're going to take you through exactly how this happened. And by the way, the Cubs are now only one of 4 teams that have come back from a 7-run deficit this year, and it all started in the 7th inning with Christian Bethancourt's 2-run home run. That's RBIs number 2 and 3 if you are counting at home. 431-foot bomb to make it 10-5. And bottom of the 7th inning, it didn't seem very important at the time, but Daniel Palencia gets out of a jam that he put himself in, walked the bases loaded, then gets the nice play from Dansby over at short to get out of the inning that keeps it 10-5. And then top of the 8th, Aroldis Chapman, former Cub, comes in, and he's greeted rudely with a 12-pitch at-bat from Nico Hoerner. Professional at-bats. That was the key to the Cubs' comeback here in the final few innings. One pitch after another. This was what you wanted to see from a guy like Nico. Now, it doesn't end up going in his favor, but as you can see, after Nico does strike out in this at-bat, you've got Dansby Swanson coming up next, and Aroldis Chapman cannot find the plate. He walks Swanson on 5 pitches, and then the very next batter is PCA, who already has 3 hits on the day. He slashes this 97-mile-an-hour fastball, which usually Chapman's hitting 100, 101, so you can tell that he was worn down. And congratulations to Pete, because now you have your 4th hit of the day, his first 4-hit MLB game, and then the very first pitch to Christian Bethancourt. This one is hung, and it's down the line for a double. Suddenly, it's a 10-7 game. This game feels like it's very much in the reach of the Cubs from when back in the 7th inning it was 10-3 and it felt like this was a pull-away game. And hey, I guess I should pause for a second and just go ahead and catch you up on how we got to 10-3, because Kyle Hendricks was on the mound and Paul Skeens was on the mound. Kyle gives up his usual home runs. He gets his usual bad luck. He gives up a bunch of runs in not very much time. Meanwhile, Paul Skeens didn't have a great first couple innings, but settled down, and suddenly it's 10-3. All right, y'all cut up. Let's go ahead and get back to the 8th inning. A couple pitches later, Chapman is not paying any attention to Bethancourt, and he says, "I see you, PCA. I can do the same thing." Steals third base. Has to kind of jump over the throw coming from the catcher because there wasn't even a third baseman there. He was surprised to see it, but hey, he's on third with less than 2 outs, chance to make it a 2-run game, and Ian Happ does this on the next pitch, smacks it up the middle, and it is now 10-8. You've got yourself a tying run at the plate, and Mike Tauchman is pinch hitting with a new pitcher in, and this was a momentum killer. Breaking down this play right here, what in the world just happened? You can see that it's a double play. Ian Happ is out, Mike Tauchman is out, but Craig Counsell wants to know what just happened here, because he's saying, and Ian Happ are saying, you called me out. Essentially, they're arguing that this ball was caught in the air, or that Ian Happ was led to believe that the ball was caught in the air. As we look at it from behind home plate, here comes the ball over to the second baseman. Happ doesn't quite know. Is it caught? Is it not? He decides it's not been caught, and you don't know right here. When he makes that turn back to first base, did he hear the umpire say out? Because as you can see, the umpire is showing safe. That safe sign right there means that the ball hit the ground. So Ian is scurrying back thinking the ball was caught in the air. Meanwhile, the ball was not caught in the air. So at this point, as soon as the ball reaches Connor Joe's glove, Ian Happ is no longer needing to go to second, because this is no longer a force play. That ball was caught on the ground. That ball was then thrown to first. And in that situation, Ian Happ has every right to retrieve back to first base. But at that point, you could see that he kind of gets up off the bag thinking, wait, what just happened? Now, Ian probably is thinking to himself, why did I get off the bag? This is just one of those confusing plays that as it's happening, it's easy to look back in retrospect and say, here's what they should have done. But as it's happening, you're kind of like trying to do long math and long multiplication and long division in your head of like, wait, where do I go? And that's probably what happened here with Ian. Either way, it's a double play. It's a huge momentum killer. But in the top of the ninth inning, Seiya Suzuki gets the Cubs started off the right way. On the second pitch of the at-bat off of David Bednar, he singles into left field. Then you've got almost the exact same play that happened in the eighth, just happened right here for Seiya and Bellinger. Nearly one of those, hey, is it being caught in the air? Is it not being caught in the air? Seiya getting caught in between. Luckily, Seiya ends up getting out at second and Bellinger stays at first, so not a double play. And that is where we lead to the next really professional at bat. Nico had a 12-pitch at bat. Well, we've got Isaac Paredes with an 8-pitch at bat, and he's taking some close pitches. He's fouling off some tough ones, and then finally ends up getting a pitch that he likes, singles up the middle. Bellinger goes to second, and you've got first and second with one out. It's a 2-run game. Tying run is on first base. Nico Hoerner, once again, after a long professional at bat, Nico Hoerner then gets the walk because Bednar can't find the plate. That continues into the first 2 pitches of the Dansby Swanson at bat. Then he finds it with the fastball. Swanson misses a couple fastballs in a row here. And then like Paredes and like Hoerner, he puts up a professional at bat. He's fouling off pitches. He's taking close pitches. This ball 3 pitch, the cameraman looked like he was ready to zoom in for strike 3. Instead, it's now a full count. And the fastball off the plate, and Dansby takes it the other way. But a great play by Alika Williams. Literally catches this ball behind him and gets the force out at second. Dansby with a really tough break. You thought that was ticketed for right field. Might have saved the game. Then Bednar still can't find the plate. Here's 4-hit Pete coming up to the plate, and he doesn't want any part of him. In fact, Dansby takes second on the second pitch. It's 2-0. They say, let's just go ahead and put PCA on, which seemed like the right play, except for you've got a guy having a career day in Christian Bethancourt. He does it again. RBIs number 6 and 7, and that is a lead for the Cubs, the first one that they have had since the first inning. Can you believe this? This guy, what a day. And Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, man, I mean, just inches away from having that ball. That could have been easily the third out and the final out of the game. Then the Cubs just have fun from there. Ian Happ smacks one up the middle for a base hit, makes it 12-10. Then you've got Mike Tauchman teeing off an RBI single as well, smacks that one, and then Seiya Suzuki with his second hit of the inning. The Cubs have scored 73 runs in 7 games. They've scored 9 runs or more 15 times this year. 5 of those have happened in the last 7 games. This was a huge victory and a sweep for the Cubs over the Pirates.